Howdy, this is Critic running back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. So today I cover round 1 results for the Warlock and Sabretooth arenas, then I jump into some round 2 predictions. So first, the round 1 results. So Warlock came in kind of on the, I won't say the super high side that a lot of people thought he might go. He definitely came in kind of like a above average to higher than normal kind of number, or at least for what we've been seeing for newer champs in the game. So his first round cutoff for the 5-star feature was 58.6, and I should say 58.6 million, but I should say that's really only for the 5-star feature arena, because when we jump over to the 4-star feature arena, that cutoff was at 9.45, and that's really low compared to a lot of the new feature champs that we've been seeing coming into the arena. So for whatever reason, nobody really grinded him in the 4-star feature, but enough folks went after him in the 5-star feature. Now coming over to Sabretooth, that's kind of what we expected, even for a decent champ in the game today like Sabretooth. This is what you typically see for a 4-star basic champ that's been in the game for some time. Just people have access to him a bunch of different ways, so there's just not really the grind demand that's necessary to grab a 4-star basic champ like this. That's why his cutoff was 1.63. So comparing these results to my predictions, for the most part, we were pretty much in the right ballpark, especially for the 5-star feature and the 4-star basic arena. So that 56 was definitely within 10%, actually closer to 5. That 11.5, though, that's because Warlock had such a abnormally low, unexpectedly low 4-star feature arena cutoff. This number was definitely lower than what we typically see. So since I go by the trends, this number definitely was different than definitely with outside that 10% range. But jumping over now back to the 4-star basic, as I indicated a few minutes ago, this was typically what we see, nothing out of the ordinary with this first round cutoff. So this was definitely within the 5 to 10% of my prediction, since I just based my stuff off of what the data has been showing us of late. Speaking of data and what has been showing us late, let's take a look at some recent round 2 results to get an idea of what happened this time. And if round 1 is any indicator, at least a couple of the arenas that should follow these trends. So starting first with the 5-star feature, you can see what's interesting, a couple over the last couple months, like with Human Torch. Now this is 3 or 4 months old now, but you can see when he went 50 millions in the first round, he dropped to the 40s, and then jumping over to Mysterio, so that was more recently here, just a month ago. You can see that he had a cutoff in the first round of 52 million, dropped all the way down to 26 million. So what's interesting, I don't think the steep decline is something that's going to be normal, but when you're in the 50s, there's typically a decline. I mean, over the last couple of months, a couple instances where we've had a cutoff in the first round in the 50 million, we've seen a drop off in the second round. When there's been a lower than that, like if you look at Spider-Man Still Suit Spidey, you can see he had 41 in the first round, jumped to 47, and then Sunspot unexpectedly had that really low first round cutoff of 26. Well, obviously that was going to be higher in the second round, and that went to 42 million. So that's so you can see when it's in the lower, you typically have an increase. When you have a 50 plus, you typically have a decrease. Well, I wouldn't say that entirely. When you have like a Namor and Cole that are 60 plus, you have some definite different kind of behavior there. But when you're in the 50s, it looks like there's a decrease. How much? That's kind of the guesstimate that I'll be throwing in here, but definitely I'm thinking decrease. Now for the 4-star feature, what's interesting is there hasn't been many instances. Like I said, it was the Warlock example below 10 million for the first round. We haven't seen that since Invisible Woman, who was at 8 million, who had an increase, which was interesting though, kind of like what we saw with the 5-star feature. Those champs that had a first round cutoff like 12 million, higher 11 million, they had a decrease in the second round. Ronan went from 12 to 10. Even Stealth Suit Spidey had a decrease from 12 to 10. Mysterio was almost 11 million, had a drop down to 10 million. And then Sunspot more recently here had a pretty decent decline from 11 to 6. What is interesting for the most part, though, is that in the second round, for most of these champs, they end up in the 10 million. It's kind of in the lower 10 million range, but somewhere in the 10 million. So I think that's, and then with the Invisible Woman increase when she had such a low first round cutoff, that's what I think we might see here. Warlock was right, mid 9 millions. I think we'll see him increase to that lower 10 million in the second round. Now with the 4-star basic arena, this is kind of a more predictable arena, as you can see here. First round, there's always a, that 1.6, 1.5 kind of range. They'll have that increase to 1.6, 1.7 kind of thing. So that's what we, the typical thing that we see with this arena, and that hasn't changed much. So it's a very reliable trend at this point. And then with the 3-star feature, another reliable trend for new champs is round 1 is always higher than round 2. You typically see a decline in round 2. So based off of all this information, here are my thoughts for the round 2 predictions for the new Warlock and Sabretooth arenas. Starting first with the 5-star feature arena, I think we're looking at 48 million. Again, I think we're going to see that slight decrease, or not slight decrease, but we will see that decrease when you have a champ that's in the 50 millions. I think that we're going to see that here with Warlock dropping down to 48 million. Now again, coming to the 4-star feature, like Invisible Woman, like really the only recent champ who's had an increase, significant increase anyway, between round 1 and round 2 was because she was so low. I think because Warlock was so low at 9 million and some change, I think we're going to see that increase just to that lower 10 million, what seems to be that happy median point for a lot of new champs in the second round. So again, that's 10.2 million. And then with the 4-star basic Sabretooth, I think 1.75, that's a standard trend, probably even closer to 1.7. I'm going to say because Sabretooth is a better champ, that's still a decent champ in the game, especially if you're looking to synergize with Omega Red. I think we're going to be looking at to go to 1.75. And then Warlock, again, another standard, a reliable trend we're seeing right now. You can see a decrease going down to 1.2 million. And again, these predictions are all for the veterans bracket. Now, just as, I always like to give as a disclaimer, though, past results don't guarantee future results. So I always like to give a little grind target just to say, if you really want to make sure you don't miss some of these champs, here's the numbers you should go to. The 5-star feature Warlock, I think 52 million should do. I think 11 million should be fine for the 4-star Warlock. I think 1.9 million will guarantee you get Sabretooth. I think 1.3 in the 3-star feature Warlock will make sure you get Warlock. But anyway, the grind target similar to these predictions are for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been older than 60 days. When it comes to the newer brackets, again, there's a lot of, like I always say, there's a lot of fluctuation between the number of people that are even playing in these arenas, so it's really hard to get a good read on what to expect here. So these are just very rough ballpark numbers, just because there's just not as much data to find any reliable trends to go against this. So just kind of keep that in mind. I always say keep grind until you can't grind anymore on these accounts, because on newer accounts, because all these numbers are lower than the last milestone reward, and the milestone rewards will give you stuff that you need in a progressing roster anyway. So with the 3-star feature for the beginners bracket, that means your account is brand new to 30 days. 3-star feature, you're looking at 245,000. 4-star basic, 600,000. 4-star feature, you're looking right around 1.4 million. For the intermediate bracket, so these are accounts that are open 31 to 60 days. 3-star feature, 525,000. 4-star basic, 950,000. And the 4-star feature, 1.4 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the Warlock, for the second round of the Warlock and Sabretooth arenas. Would love to hear your opinion, especially if it's different than mine. Throw it on down in the comment section, and let's discuss it there. If you have any questions, throw them down into the comment section as well, and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Other than that, hopefully you found this information valuable. If so, I'd really appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button, as that helps the channel out a ton. And if you're new to my videos, or you're watching for a while and never subscribed, would really appreciate it if you would. So thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.